Welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Steven. Today's episode is about Noblet clarinets from the mid-1900s to their demise in the latter 1900s. Anyways, don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe, like, and share afterwards. Now let's start reviewing Noblet clarinets. We're going to review my website again, clarinetperfection.com. Got a lot of pictures there, information about clarinets of a variety of brands. So right here, we're not going to review the company history. If you want to, we'll review that in a different episode. There's also a link here going to it. Here's one of the old Noblet emblems that was on a case from early Noblet 40. On this webpage, you got a variety of Noblets you have here. Also have a serial number list. The serial number list is not complete, though. It was faxed to me in the late 90s by some old lady at LeBlanc, USA. And that's what started this website, probably in 1998, I believe. Anyways, the early Noblet clarinets, harken back to the day when there was Noblet Thiboudoux. Thiboudoux is a brand you'll probably run across. This is the same person there. We can see pictures of it here, emblem of it over here on the right. And Noblet was one of the very first clarinet manufacturers in France, a very prestigious one. At one point, there was no further siblings of the Noblet line, and LeBlanc actually kind of bought them out to keep them going. Here's a Boxwood example, and the emblem there, D Noblet. Very pretty clarinet. Notice the string on the mouthpiece. It is a plastic mouthpiece, though. Anyways, more back to the earlier modern Noblets. These ones, just like any other brand, they shared the posts for the throat keys. They have 3 posts supporting the 2 keys here. And this is an early 90s model. The early Noblet 40s were really over-engineered clarinets. They, at that time, were still competing against Noblet in a way, against LeBlanc in a way, I should say. One of the weirdest things about Noblet is you'll come across serial numbers that don't fit, emblems that don't fit with the serial numbers. And for instance, I do know there was a variety of instances, especially near the end, when the LeBlancs would just use Noblet clarinets and resell them as LeBlancs, especially the A variety, and vice versa. You'd find some Noblet A's that were LeBlanc LLs. I had a couple, actually. Anyways, the earlier Noblet 4s are very nice clarinets. Of course, the upper joint had a Made in France stamp on it. Lower joint, the left-hand spatula keys had 1 post on it for the C-sharp B keys. Thumb rests, here's an identifier for thumb rests where they had 1 screw on top, 1 below, and we'll see indications of that in a bit here. But you see every clarinet brand kind of evolved in the same methods and same variety of things here. Lower joint here, you see this 1 post key for the side keys. Actually, there's screws supporting it for strength back there. Also use the pins. You can see it better here. A lot of the keys here, a lot of the posts here, you can see have countersunk screws on them. Something very odd from that time frame, but Noblet was ahead of the game there, making very sturdy clarinets. Upper joint, same thing. See countersunk screws here, supporting the posts. Here's one oiled up. There's an early Noblet with a newer emblem. You'll see all these screw holes in here. That's a lot of labor that goes into there, so considered more professional line in a way. More pictures here. Of course, the springs aren't blued steel springs like needle type springs. These are more They could have been replaced at one time. Here's the thumb rest. Here's an older thumb rest. See one screw in the front, one on the below it. Here's the emblem, an oval emblem like the buffets used to be known as. Another picture there. Now there was a Noblet Stubbins model, just like LeBlanc had one and Normandy had one. And here I had an extra key cup in the lower joint. Take a look at some pictures now. And we'll see the thumb rest now has 2 screws on it, horizontally. And right here, if you look in the lower joint here, you got 3 of the tone holes on one side versus 2 and 2. You notice the throw adjuster key on here. These are very nicely built clarinets too. And here we get into the early Noblet 40s. You'll notice there's an emblem variation. On the right-hand side, you see the emblem here with a small lyre on top of it. Very simple emblem. Then you got a little bit more complex. A little D in the lyre up on top, or the harp, I should say. And then you got a more complex one here. So basically, Noblet like, or the buffet like Noblet emblem were some at least the 40s through 62. Some of them had ebonite bells. Those are later known as model 27s. Now, this mention I had in here, bore similar L27s, and I really later on did not think that was true. But if you have an early Noblet 40, you go by the emblems, knowing whether it's an early, mid, or late one. There's also Noblet Super 40. I remember refurbing a couple of these, didn't have much time to do it though, so I never really inspected it very much. Don't know much about it, other than taking pictures. Some pictures of it here. Gone are all the extra screws to hold the posts in. Here's a mid-era Super 40. Nice emblem there. Lower joint. Upper joint. And the bell. A Noblet 40 Special, which had a plastic bell. Right here, you see the word special above the emblem. And you notice the trill keywork or go straight across. Emblem on the right-hand side. Noblet 27. Standard cylindrical bore, like all the other Noblet models. Really nothing special here. You got the emblem on the right-hand side. This emblem lasted for a long time. Noblet 40 in the later years, from at least 62 to, I have 1990. The old, they called it like the TV emblem, I think it is. Shape of an old TV, that is. Old tube TV, not your LCD TVs and stuff. One of the most recent emblems from the 90s to really the end, Noblet 40 here with this. I always thought it was basically an inverted trumpet bell emblem. Noblet 45 models. Early ones had an ND at the top of the triangle that's in. From 1960 about 1990, I believe. Then the Noblet 45 emblem had a second diamond inset on it, which is usually called a double diamond Noblet emblem. Some of the earlier ones were very hard to tune, so they're kind of mouthpiece picky. And of course, the more recent Noblet 45 emblem here. There's also Noblet 45 artists. I'm not quite sure on what the years were for that. It has a double diamond though. Supposedly has select aged wood in it. The Noblet 45 Laureate, which basically had a engraving on the bell, which came out about the same time as the Salmer USA Soloist Omega model, and of course the Paris Center Tone Omega model. So I assume this was in the same time frame. I have brochures and emblems here. We'll take a look at those real quickly. Brochure 1, you can see model, you see the undercut on the tone holes. Talks about the anchored posts. Talk about the way the choke keys are designed, how they're more inline jump keys instead of off to the side, providing more positive feel and better action and better sealing action. Power forged keys, precision craftsmanship. More of the same emblem. This says $189.50. Noblet 40 or 45. Noblet 40, Noblet 45, finest professional quality has. Kenosha, Wisconsin. Early receipt of Noblet 40. Selling price $189.40. $19.60. Here's another brochure. You can read that there. Hit pause if you want. Noblet Normandy clarinets. See more price information here. Normandy oboe. Soprano clarinets. Prices, harmony clarinets. Here's the emblems you can see here. Well, here's a Noblet 45 emblem with a N in a circle. I haven't seen that before. All tuned at 440 at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. The Artist clarinets, 45 cm with a Carrymore case. 45 E flat, 45 C, 45 A, match set of B flat and A. Artiste special mechanisms, 17/7. So basically an enhanced boom up to a full boom clarinet. Superior series. This is the model 40 basically. Stubbins model 245 and metal clarinet 18. Alto and bass clarinets, model 60, 55. Noblet flutes. Noblet piccolos, oboes, English horn. Normandy soprano clarinets here. Series 10, 10P, and I have another episode about Normandy clarinets. The Encore series, which is the 8. 140P, PCM 208, the Stubbins model. Jeffries 3 3D models, Normandy flutes. More information about the clarinets. You can pause here if you want. Read through it. Stubbins was a professor at the University of Michigan, by the way. Same place I went to. Here's a catalog. You can hit pause as I scroll through this. Those are LeBlancs. Here's 40s and 40s and a Normandy 4. The 1974 price list. These are the LeBlanc models, alto and bass. Model 45. Model 45, $95. B flat, A, or C. The E flat was $123. Wow. Plateau model 50, 126, 136. Bass, alto, clarinet, flutes. Interesting. And from here, you can hit pause, take a look at the serial numbers. I got other pictures in here on my website you can look at. And the Noblet 55 and 60 alto and bass clarinet, I believe, or 55, 60 bass clarinet here. And that's a quick review of the Noblet clarinets. I want to thank you for listening today. Any questions, comments, please post them down below. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. God love knowledge, God love life, God love Noblet clarinets. We'll see you next time.